We've reached the end of another month. Let's talk about how it went. Hello, fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather, and I am glad you are here today. Now, we're just going to take a moment to do what we do at the end of every month and take a look back at how the month has gone, looking at training, any races or medals, what's coming up on the race calendar, what's coming up on the channel, and of course, our monthly Spotify playlist drop for you to have some music to run to. So let's get things started. We're going to start the way we always do by taking a look back at the month in training and how it went. This month was a challenge. Let's take a look. Hello everybody, it is September and I am just coming off of a week's vacation at DragonCon, but I did participate in the Geek Girls Run. And if you know anything about DragonCon, you do so much walking all around downtown Atlanta. So lots of walking and lots of hills. And so it, wasn't a complete rest. I am getting back into a training program and I'm kind of trying to ease back into it with some longer walking sessions and then increasing the running part of it. Doing a lot of easy runs this week, and then we are going to be doing a little bit of conditioning and I think one speed session, and then we're going to be doing possibly a 2-hour long run, assuming that I have the time to get it in. But at any rate, I'm going to get as much of a long run in as I can this weekend. And yeah, so we're feeling pretty good going into the new month. Still struggling a little bit with hamstring issues, but that's just going to be a thing from now on, I guess. And we're just going to see how well we can stave off some of that discomfort and get into just more consistent and longer runs. But that's my thinking so far. Got to get back on nutrition and conditioning, that is for sure, if I'm going to be ready for the end of November. But yeah, that's where we're standing right now, and not much else to report, so I will catch up with you after the long run. Well, we're back for another week of September. Notice how fantastic my voice sounds right now. That's because just a couple of days after getting back into town after DragonCon, I came down with the worst upper respiratory infection that I've had in years. Like, it was awful. I thought it was COVID. I seriously thought it was COVID, but I tested negative 3 times over the course of a week. So it definitely wasn't that, but I checked into a lot of the DragonCon groups and found that other people were having some of the same problems, same symptoms, negative for COVID. So it's just been a mess. So I had to take several days off from doing anything. I had zero energy. I couldn't breathe. It was awful. And see why I thought it was COVID. But I'm just now getting back into everything. I'm more or less having to start from scratch now since I've been off my feet for close to a week. Mostly just getting some slow walks in the past couple of days to try and build back up. I'm going to see if I can maybe go for maybe a 1-mile run today, but I'm having to ease back into everything. I've let my coach know what's going on, so he understands what's happening with my training plan, that I'm not exactly going to be hitting long runs for 2.5 hours like it says on my schedule. So I'm just kind of taking things extremely slow right now because it's still kind of hard to breathe. Thankfully, most of the cough has gone away. The drainage still remains. And I still have very little energy. But we are going to get this figured out. We're going to ease back into everything. And I'm going to just do what I can with what my body will let me do. So I'm not really sure what the rest of this week is going to bring. But I just know it's going to be short and easy. So I will check back in with you beginning of next week and let you know how things have panned out. And we're back for another week of September. So last week was basically just trying to rebuild because I have been sick. I ended up having to just kind of very slowly build up from being able to run about 10 minutes all the way up to my long run, which ended up being about an hour and a half long, trying to replicate the pace that I plan on using in November, which is very slow, but it's going to be useful if I'm going to last all 24 hours of the race. So that's what I have been working on, mostly just trying to build up a little bit. I had to take an extra day off because there was one day when I had a midterm, I had a draft of a project that was due, I had a kid that was sick at home. There was just no time to get out. Plus, it has been raining for 4 days straight. So I have been trying to time runs when I know there's not going to be any kind of lightning or super duper heavy rain. A little bit of rain I can deal with, but just trying to keep myself as safe as possible and trying to keep myself as healthy as possible. So it has been a bit of a struggle, but for this week, we're just going to continue the rebuild. We are going to extend our runs a little bit further, make sure that we are getting back up to at least half marathon shape within the next couple of weeks, and hopefully try to get a little bit of conditioning in as well. I have been neglecting that, just trying to get everything done. But, you know, that's top of the school year and going back to grad school for you. So we are going to continue with the training plan. I am trying to at least get something done every day, even if I can't get the full workout in. I'm just trying to be consistent as I possibly can and work up to, I believe it's another 1.5 hour long run at the end of this week, as this is supposed to be kind of a little bit of a cutback week. So we're just gonna focus on staying strong and steady. So I will catch up with you next week after a long run. And here we are, end of the month. I'm in the middle of my first workout of the week, but we are wrapping up the month of September and managed to fit in some runs despite being super busy over the end of last week. So had to kind of stretch my long run out over a few days, but managed to get it done. Last week was a lower mileage week. We're gonna ramp things back up again this week. We're gonna do some uphill running and some more easy runs, culminating in a slightly longer long run for the weekend. Oh, this month has not really gone the way that I expected it to, but we're just gonna focus, try and keep moving forward. And let's talk more about it inside. And so, like I said, this month has not gone the way that I thought it was going to go, because a lot got thrown at me with going back to school, with dealing with my kids going back to school, with being sick not once but twice, one of them lasting almost 2 weeks, trying to recover, doing a week of travel. It's just been a lot. And so my training has not gone as smoothly as I hoped it would. And so I'm thinking I may go into this race undertrained. Possibly. I don't know. It just depends on how much I can build up between now and the end of November. But overall, I mean, I guess it could be worse. I did have to take a lot of time off to recover just because my body was not up to training. But I'm getting back into it. I am feeling better about conditioning. I am feeling better about my nutrition. It's not where it needs to be just yet, but I am still working on it. So we are making some progress. I'm just not where I want to be right now. But the good news about a new month is that I've got this whole month to work on it and turn it around. And then I have a whole other month to train before my next race. So that's where we are in training right now. It has been an absolute struggle bus this month, but hopefully we've been through the worst, knock on wood, and maybe things will get better from here. Moving on to races and medals for the month. Obviously, I am not doing any racing right now just because with everything that's going on, I don't want to chance anything. I am so scared that I'm going to injure myself, that I'm going to do something that is going to completely derail me for November. So I've been not really doing any racing, but I did get a medal this month. And that's because when you go to DragonCon, if you are interested, then you can always donate to their charity for the year and get a medal for the DragonCon hustle. And this is something that I've started doing for the past couple of years since I'm at DragonCon anyway. I do participate in the Geek Girls Run, which can take care of that run for you, or you're going to walk way more than 5K over the course of just one day at con. So definitely an easy way to earn it. This year, the charity was the Arthritis Foundation, And so when you give your donation, then you also can sign up for this medal. And here it is for this year's Dragon Con Hustle. Now you may wonder why there is the Starship Enterprise on here. And that is because every year, those who are participating in the Dragon Con Hustle get to vote on what is their favorite track, their favorite part of the con. And last year's winner was the Star Trek track. And so this was referred to as the 5K Trek 2024. And of course, they get to feature on the medal. And so now we have to wait for the votes to be tabulated so we can see what's going to be on next year's medal. But you have here, this is the Dragon Con Hustle medal. You have the Dragon Con Hustle ribbon and the Arthritis Foundation, so you know which charity it's for. And on the back of the medal, you have the Dragon Con logo. So just a nice, nifty souvenir for those who are wanting to support the charity for the year, and especially for those of us who are runners, walkers, and like a little bit of bling. As far as races that are coming up, the one that is definitely 100% on the calendar is the Sunset Endurance Challenge. That is going to be in Benton, Arkansas, and that is going to be the day after Thanksgiving. There is an approximately 1 mile paved road that goes around the Sunset Lake, and we see how much we can rack up over the course of 24 hours. We'll have people joining us in the morning for the 12 hours, and then later the next day for the 6-hour race. So just seeing how many miles you can accumulate in that amount of time. If you'll remember, last year I did this, I had to drop at around hour 19 or so, and that's because I had picked up a cold and I was running a fever and was just delirious. I was not able to do any more after 19 hours, but that was still my longest distance at 51 miles. So I'm going to see if I can break my own personal record. So make sure that you stay tuned so that you can see exactly how that goes. Fingers crossed, maybe a little bit closer to 100K. I don't know. I don't know what the day's going to bring, what the weather's going to bring, how I'm going to feel. You never know the day of. So make sure that you are staying tuned so that you can see how that goes. But as of right now, that race, which is going to be in November, as you can see, is definitely on the calendar. I also have one that I've been talking about for a while, which is going to be next October. So that's October of 2025, and that is going to be a relay. So more information on that once we get everything 100% settled. Other than that, I am still looking for opportunities to run in other states. So make sure that you let me know about any interesting races in other states that I might need to know about. Let me know down in the comments below. Next up, what is going to be coming up on the channel, and it is going to be pretty much business as usual over the month of October. So you can expect another Run the USA episode. You'll get a monthly update at the end of the month, and there is going to be some more training logs so you can see how things are starting to ramp up as I am getting into longer distances and including some back-to-back long runs. So you can see how I'm dealing with that. So make sure that you are watching the channel so you can stay tuned. As usual, here is our update on my Run the Year challenge. And this is me trying to run 2,024 miles this year for the year 2024. As of the recording of this video, I am at 1,575.12 miles. So it is well within the realm of possibility of being able to finish this before the end of the year. Stay tuned so you can see how it goes. Obviously, with long runs coming up, I'll be able to add a little bit more to that. So we'll see how things are going. And finally, like we always do, we're going to have our monthly playlist drop down below in the description. This is a link to a Spotify playlist. So if you are looking for some music for maybe a 5K or a short run, then there's some music for you to listen to. I do follow usually a theme every single month. With October, I'm pretty sure you can guess how this is going to go. You'll also find a link down below to all of the tracks that have been chosen for monthly playlists so far, all in one mega list. So if you're needing a lot of music to run to, then you have that option as well. You'll also find a link to Welcome to the Geek Den, and that is suggested by runners just like you. So if you have any suggestions for songs that you would like to see on that list, make sure that you drop those down in the comments below so I can make sure that those get added. That wraps things up for another month. As you can see, it wasn't exactly the month that I expected, but sometimes you just got to deal with what you got. I am so glad that you could be here for all of this. Also, we are super close to 1,000 subscribers here in the Geek Den. So if you could share this with somebody, then please feel free to share. Let's get more geeks in here so that we can all talk about running together. I'd also like to know, what are you training for right now? What are you looking forward to in the month of October? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below? While you're there, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing. Just click that button down below and it'll keep you up to date on all the content I have coming out all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for being here for another month. I'm so glad you could join me. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I'll see you later.